She sat alone, until the human engineer quietly took the seat next to her. Jonah slammed his tray down on the scarred metal table and claimed the empty seat beside Saeli Vaughn, head snapped up across the crowded mess hall. Forks paused mid-air. A Kragthar grunt rumbled from the corner booth. Jonah ignored them all. He stabbed a fork into his synth protein slab and chewed. Saeli hunched over her untouched tray. Her iridescent skin shimmered under the harsh overheads, scales rippling like oil on water. The 4 slender arms wrapped tight around her torso. No one sat near her. No one had since she arrived 2 cycles ago. Jonah ate in silence. He savored the salty bite of replicated steak, real enough after a 12-hour shift crawling through conduit vents. Crew chatter buzzed around them, complaints about flickering lights, bets on the next supply run. Nothing about the alien liaison tucked in the shadows. Her primary hands trembled. Fine motor claws clicked against her tray edge. Jonah glanced over. Chill vents hummed overhead, dropping the temp to Kragthar standards. Humans shivered at 18 Celsius. Saeli's species hailed from a hotter world. Dr. Erie Malk had mentioned it during onboarding. He reached into his jumpsuit pocket, pulled out a maintenance-issued thermal patch, the kind he slapped on frozen pipes, peeled the backing, slid it across the table toward her without a word. Saeli froze. Her multifaceted eyes, black pools flecked with gold, locked on the patch. One secondary arm uncurled, hesitated, touched the edge. Warmth bloomed as she pressed it to her forearm. Tremors eased. She exhaled. A soft hiss, like steam venting. For the first time, she straightened slightly. Jonah nodded once, returned to his meal. Chief Nara Kess loomed at the serving line's end. The security chief's armored exosuit gleamed under the lights. Her gaze drilled into Jonah's back. He felt it like a targeting laser. Nara had cornered him yesterday. That Xeno's customs are a liability, Reyes. Keep your distance. He hadn't. Saeli shifted. Her primary claw tapped his tray. Quick, precise, pointed to a glowing glyph etched into his syntheg mound. Yellow warning spirals pulsed faintly. Jonah squinted. The glyph matched the allergen panel on the dispenser wall. Everyone ignored it. Humans shrugged off mild irritants. Kragthars metabolized toxins as fuel. Not yours, he said low. Eggs are fine for me. She shook her head. Secondary arms gestured urgently, toward the glyph, then the hall-wide serving line. Kiss whisper escaped her. Vox, toxin, bind, air, language barrier. Dr. Erie's crash course flashed back. Saeli's people used pheromonal cues first, words second, translators lagged. Jonah scanned the line. 200 crew cycled through, trays piled with the same synthegs. A faint acrid tang hit his nose now, overlooked in the spice haze. His gut twisted. Station alert protocols kicked in. He dropped his fork. Stay put! Jonah bolted from the table. Nara's voice barked behind him. Reyes, what now? He vaulted the line barrier. Crew parted like water. Jonah yanked open the servitor access panel. Circuits hummed. He traced the feed lines, standard Nutri-Gel mix, routed through the main vat. Glyph warning blinked on the control readout. Cross-contamination. Some idiot had swapped a bulk chem resin vat for the egg base. Airborne dispersal imminent if it hit the recyclers. Fingers flew. He isolated the line with a bypass shunt. Rerouted flow to the waste reclaim. Alarms blared. Station-wide contamination chime. Crew froze. Trays clattered. A human tech gagged, clutching her throat. Flush it! Jonah yelled. He slapped the emergency purge. Gray sludge gushed into containment. Air scrubbers whirred to life. Silence fell. Then cheers erupted. Kragthar slapped carapaces. Humans high-fived. Nara stormed up. Report, Reyes. Allergen glyph on the eggs, Jonah said, wiping sweat. Xenotoxic. Saeli flagged it. The chief's mandibles clicked. She eyed Saeli across the hall. Her! Dr. Erie Malk pushed through the crowd. The mediator's robes swirled. Correct. Saeli's species detects binding agents at parts per trillion. Human baselines miss it. Nara grunted. Lucky catch, not luck. Jonah jerked his thumb at Saeli. Crew work. Saeli stood at the table. Thermal patch glowed on her arm. She met his eyes, gold flecks bright now. One primary hand pressed to her chest plate, a salute her people used for pack bonds. Erie had drilled that one too. Jonah grinned, returned the gesture. Crew trickled back to trays. Whispers shifted, from suspicion to nods. A few humans dragged chairs near Sally's table. Nara lingered. "You're vouching for her now?" "She's crew," Jonah said. "Like you." The chief's gaze hardened. "Watch it." Oversight board sniffing after that hull breach last shift. Xenos draw heat. She stalked off. Jonah exhaled. Hull breach. Plasma leak in Sector 7. He'd patched it solo, but logs showed Sally's quarters nearby. Rumors flew. Sabotage. He grabbed fresh trays, circled back to Sally, set one before her. Glyph checked. Egg-free. She accepted it. Ate slowly. Silence again, but warmer. Dr. Erie slid into the opposite seat. "Well done, both. Sally, your warning. Precise. Jonah, your fix. Textbook." Sally hissed softly. "Jonah, warm. Pack." Erie translated. "She says you provide warmth. Asks if pack bond forms." Jonah chewed, thought of his old rig crew on Luna Base. Shared bunks. Shared fixes. Humans bonded over small fixes. Steady hands. "Yeah," he said. "Pack." Her scales flushed deeper blue. A good sign, per Erie's notes. Secondary arms relaxed fully. Mess hall hummed back to life. Laughter cut the air. A Kragthar nodded at Sally. She nodded back. Jonah's comm buzzed. "Station alert. Sector 7 sensor spiking again. Hull integrity dropping." Nara's voice crackled through. "Reyes. Bridge. Now. And bring your Xenopet." Sally's eyes widened. She rose. Jonah stood with her. The hand grazed her elbow. Light, steadying. Together. They moved as one. Crew watched. Whispers followed. Not fear now, but curiosity. The real crisis brewed in the vents, and trust was their only patch. But as alarms wailed faintly in the distance, Jonah caught Nara's glare from the exit. Oversight board meant audits. Audits meant scrutiny. One wrong glyph, one misread scale flush, and Sally's isolation returned. Worse, he tightened his grip on his toolkit. Brew. Small axe first. Fix what breaks. Sally matched his stride. Her claw brushed his sleeve. Trust sparked. Station lights flickered. They plunged into the corridor. Sally flinched hard as the dock worker barreled into her path. Jonah Reyes spotted it from 10 meters down the promenade. Her secondary arms snapped tight to her torso. Scales rippled silver. Fear flush, per the xenoculture briefings. The worker, a squat groon named Tark, didn't notice. He leaned in, breath reeking of synth fuel, barking about blocked cargo lanes. "Out of the way, scale face. Some of us got work." Sally's primary claws curled. She backed up, hit the bulkhead. Jonah dropped his toolkit. Clanged loud. He slid between them in 3 strides. Chest squared to Tark, but voice level. "Tark. Lane 3's clear. Move your crates there. Now." Tark blinked. Fists unclenched. "Reyes? She blocking?" "She's cleared. You block, I log it. Go." Tark grumbled. Shuffled off. Crew nearby paused, eyes flicking between them. Sally exhaled. Scales eased to pale blue. She extended a primary hand, clutched a thin card. Glossy, etched with glyphs and diagrams, thrusted at Jonah. He took it. Scanned fast. Circles radiated from a stick figure Sally. Red inner zone labeled attack breach. Yellow, threat posture. Green, safe discourse. Notes and Galstand. Voran species, proximity equals intent. 1 step past green equals assault declaration. Posture cards mandatory for off-world. Jonah nodded, tucked the card in his vest. Got it. Won't happen again. Her mandibles clicked. Soft. Grateful. He knelt, pulled deck tape from his kit. Yellow hazard roll. Marked a circle around her feet. 2-meter radius. Green zone exact. Pressed it firm to the scuffed deck plate. Crew gathered. Whispers rose. Stand here, Jonah said to Sally. Stepped back, into yellow. Stopped. Threat? She tilted head, secondary arms uncurled halfway. Clicked, no. He stepped to edge of green. Safe? Full uncurl. Yes. Copy that. He turned to the crowd, fingers pointed. Crew rule. Green circle stays clear unless invited. Breach it. You log harassment. Nara's orders. Murmurs rippled. A Kragthar nodded slow. Others followed. Saeli watched. Claws relaxed fully. Jonah sealed the tape. Stood. You're good now. Walk with me. She matched his stride. Claw tips brushed his sleeve. Light promenade hummed on. Vendors hawked protein bars. Shuttles thrummed at docks. But eyes lingered on them, not hostile. Curious, Chief Nara Kess emerged from a security kiosk. Arms crossed, tusks gleamed under lights. Reyes. Explain the tape circus. Jonah faced her. Calm. Safe radius. Voran custom. Prevents incidents. Nara's gaze flicked to Saeli. Hard. Customs don't override station regs. She's a liaison, not crew. And your babysitting, why? Prevents logs, saves you time. He tapped the card. One wrong step. Her culture calls it attack. Assault charge. Audit nightmare. Nara snorted. Humans coddle. She adapts or leaves. Saeli's scales silvered. Jonah shifted. Blocked Nara's line of sight. She adapts. With space, like we give Kragthar for headroom. Nara eyed the tape. Stepped to green edge. Halted. Fine. Trial run. One breach. It rips up. She stalked off. Comm chirped as she went. Saeli clicked low, handed Jonah a second card. Smaller. Glyph for warmth shield. He pocketed it. Teamwork. Doctor. Irimalk hurried up. Antennae twitching. Jonah. Sali messaged. Good intervention. Nara's report incoming. Handled. Jonah glanced at Saeli. Show me more signals? Iri nodded. Pulled a holopad. Secondary arms. Trust level. Full spread. Bonded pack. Tight. Fear. Saeli demonstrated. Arms fanned wide. Scales vibrant blue. Jonah mirrored. Arms out. Human version. Grinned. Pack. Crew nearby chuckled. A dockhand tossed him a spare tape roll. For the next circle, Reyes. Laughter spread. Saeli tilted head. Mimicked the grin. Mandibles curved. They walked. Jonah checked vents. Steam hissing faint. Sector 7 readings itched in his mind. Sensors off last shift. But first, trust. Sally paused at a viewport. Claw traced stars. Clicked sad. Home? Jonah asked. Iri translated. Far. Pack scattered. He nodded. Mine too. Lunar rigs. Shared fixes. Steady hands bond us. She turned. Claw on his arm. Firm. Secondary arms half spread. Iri's antennae stilled. Bond offer. Rare. Humans. You normalize care. Voran's guard space fierce. Jonah shrugged. Fix what's broke. Small steps. Alarms whooped distant. Yellow lights flashed. Promenade tensed. Attention. Station AI blared. Sector 7 breach. Hull stress rising. Maintenance teams report. Jonah's comm buzzed. Nara again. Reyes. Bridge. And keep your Xeno clear. Saeli's eyes widened. Primary claws gripped his sleeve. Together, Jonah said. Hand grazed her elbow. Light. Steady. She nodded. Matched stride. Circle tape glinted behind them. Crew watched. A Kragthar bellowed. Watch the green. Nods rippled. Whispers shifted. Reyes's pack. They plunged into corridor. Lights flickered. Vents groaned. Jonah unsealed his full kit. Scanned readouts. Hull plating microfractures. Exotic alloy mix. Voran tech influence. Station logs flagged it weeks back when Saeli's shuttle docked. Sectors linking, he muttered. Cascade if we don't patch. Saeli clicked urgent. Pointed at a glyph on her card. Warning spiral. Iri caught up, panting. She says Voran hulls sing before snap. Listen. Jonah pressed ear to grate. Rising pitch. Smart. He yanked panel. Wires sparked. Iri. Translate fixes. Sally. Your alloy specs. She extended secondary arms. Pulled a data chip from pouch. Slotted into his scanner. Readings flooded. Human welds incompatible. Needed Voran heat pulse. Bridge first, Jonah said. Show Nara. Nara waited at hatch. Scowl deepened. Status? Spreading. Voran alloy. Saeli's data fixes it. Nara's tusks clicked. Her fault. Saeli's scales flashed silver. Jonah stepped forward. Her fix. Trust me. Nara waved them in. Bridge crew stared. Consoles blinked red. Jonah patched in chit. Hollow bloomed. Fracture map. Sayali's claw danced over controls. Directed pulses. Crew leaned in. A tech whistled. That's tight work. Nara monitored. Reyes, you vouch? Pack, Jonah said. Met her eyes. She grunted. Pulse it. Heat bloomed. Fractures sealed. Hum steadied. Alarms silenced. Lights steadied. Sayali sagged. Scales deep blue. Secondary arms fanned full toward Jonah. Eerie smiled. Bond. Sealed. Crew clapped. Kragthar thumped table. Nara eyed tape on Jonah's boot. Keep the circle. For now. Jonah nodded. Claw brushed his back. Warm. Mess hall. Called next. Shift end. Food. Talk. But whispers grew. Oversight pinged Nara's comm. Audit inbound. One glyph wrong, trust cracks. Jonah gripped toolkit. Small axe held. Sayali matched him. Trust sparked solid. Thence whispered quiet. For now. Hours later. Mess hall buzzed. Jonah shoveled protein mash. Sayali poked at a replicated Voran slab. Eerie sat between. Progress? Sayali clicked. Past a warmth glyph. Jonah chewed. Luna Cruz flashed. Bunks. Fixes. Pack. Scales flushed deeper. Arms relaxed. Laughter rose. Kragthar nodded. Comm buzzed. Sector 7 spiking. Hull dropping. Nara. Reyes. Bridge. Bring your Xenopet? Sayali's eyes widened. Rose. Jonah stood. Elbow graze. Together. Crew. Watched. Curiosity, not fear. Corridor swallowed them. Lights flickered. Real crisis brewed. Trust, Doctor. Malk leaned into the comm mic. Sayali Vaughn, state your intent. You're here to let the cat out of the bag on Voran trade protocols. Sayali's secondary arm snapped shut. Her scales flashed jagged yellow. She recoiled against the bulkhead. Claws scraping metal. The observation deck crowd, techs, security, liaisons, murmured, whispers spiked. Jonah Reyes gripped his toolkit tighter. He stood at the edge of the circle, assigned to monitor station interfaces during onboarding. Sayali's panic hit like a hull breach alarm. Her primary eyes darted, locked on the hollow projector beaming her distorted face back at her. Doctor, Malk, Jonah said, voice level. Cut the idiom test. She's reading threat. Malk blinked. It's standard idiom calibration. Builds rapport. Sayali's keening rose, a high trill that vibrated Jonah's teeth. Crew shifted. A tech muttered. Xeno freakout. Chief Nara Kess crossed her arms, badge glinting under deck lights. Her gaze pinned Jonah. Enough. Jonah lunged forward. He slapped the emergency override on the test console. Sparks popped. Hollow flickered out. Crowd noise died. Behind the bulkhead, Jonah said. He guided Sayali's elbow. Light touch. No grab. Her scales brushed his palm, fever hot. She stumbled with him into the shadowed alcove, away from staring eyes, bulkhead sealed with a hiss, muffling the deck. Sayali crouched low. Her breath rasped, vents flaring. Jonah knelt at eye level, toolkit open. No crowd. No lights. Just them. Safe, he said, pointed to himself. Jonah tapped chest, extended hand, palm up. She froze, then uncurled one claw, touched his palm. Cool now. Scales shifted. Faint green edge. Progress. Her primary arm extended. Claws clicked his datapad from his belt. She dragged it close. Screen lit. She etched quick strokes. 3 loops, stacked. A slash, circles with tails. Jonah watched. Simple, elegant, no words. Just shapes. She stabbed the screen, pointed at him. Claws flexed. Demand clear. Direct, yes or no. No fuzzy translations. Got it. Jonah nodded, pulled spare parts from toolkit. Relay chip, 3 LED housings, wiring stubs, a battered panel mount. Humans fixed fast, no waiting for requisitions. He stripped insulation with pliers, snapped LEDs into place. Green, yellow, red. Wired them to the datapad's aux port. Simple circuit. Button presses lit colors, logged responses. Gave her control. Sayali's eyes widened. All 4 tracked his hands. No tremor. Steady solder from his mini-torch. Green. Yes. Good. Go. He pressed green. Light bloomed. Yellow. Wait, maybe. Slow. Yellow glowed. Red. No. Stop, danger. Red flared. He handed her the rig, strapped it to her secondary arm with Velcro scraps. Her claw hovered. Then pressed green. Light pulsed. She clicked. Soft. Approving. Jonah grinned. Your call now. Bulkhead hummed. Nara's voice crackled through intercom. Reyes, open up. Chief wants words. Saley tensed. Claws gripped the buttons. Yellow flashed. Jonah tapped his comm. Give us 2, Chief. Calibrating. Nara grunted. Make it 1. Oversight's watching. Saeli drew more on the datapad. A circle with spokes. Pack, Jonah guessed. He etched a crude human handprint beside it. Pack. Green lit. Deck alarms whooped. Distant. Sector 3. Jonah checked his wrist unit. Minor vent fluctuation. Routine. But Saley's vents flared wider. She pressed red. Pointed at door. Scared? Jonah asked. She nodded. First human mimic. He stood slow. Stay. I'll clear. Door slid. Nara loomed, flanked by 2 grunts. Malk hovered behind. Datapad clutched. Reyes, Nara barked. You shut official protocol. Explain. Protocol spooked her. Jonah kept voice even. Stepped aside. Saley visible. Buttons glowing standby. Built direct interface. Her control. Nara's eyes narrowed on the rig. Toy from scraps. Saley's claw hit green. Firm. Malk stepped forward. Let me. Red flashed. Saley's trill sharpened. Malk backed off. Nara snorted. Xeno calls shots now? Tests do, Jonah said. Trust first, then work. Crew, murmured beyond. Krogthar, the hulking loadmaster, rumbled from back. Engineer fixes. Let him. Nara eyed Saley. Scales held green. No panic. Fine, demo. Jonah turned. Salai, Beatar? Green? Green lit. She rose, secondary arms fanning slight open. They moved out. Crowd parted. Whispers followed. Human babysitting alien. Reyes vouches? Jonah ignored. Matched her stride. Claw brushed his sleeve. Accidental? Warmth lingered. Next stop. Engineering bay. Jonah patched her into diagnostics. Show fracture sim? She clawed screen. Pulses danced. Precise vectors. Jonah whistled low. Tight calibration. Better than auto. Green. Her scales deepened blue. Calm? Alarm spiked again. Real this time. Sector 7. Hull stress. Oversight pinged all leads. Nara's comm blared station-wide. Crisis drill? No. Hull dropping. Engineering to bridge. Reyes. Bring liaison. Saeli's eyes snapped to Jonah. Yellow. Together, he said. Touched toolkit. Pack. Green. Corridor lights flickered as they ran. Crew scattered. Jonah sealed hatches behind. Saeli's claws clicked rhythm, matching his boots. Bridge doors hissed. Chaos reigned. Hollow maps swirled red fractures.
Captain barked corrids.
Nara vectored security. Reyes, Captain snapped. Stabilize or we spin. Jonah plugged in. Saeli, map it. She vaulted console. Buttons strapped secure. Claws flew over inputs. Pulses fired. Directed energy to struts. Crew leaned. Tech whistled. That's sub-millimeter. Nara monitored. Reyes.
You vouch? Pack, Jonah said. Met Saley's eyes.
Blue scales steady. She grunted. Voran rumble. Pressed green. Heat bloomed from vents. Fractures sealed. Hum steadied. Alarms silenced. Lights normalized. Saeli sagged against him. Secondary arms fanned full. Toward Jonah. Warmth glyph etched quick on his pad. Dr. Malk smiled from side. Bond sealed. Crew clapped. Kragthar thumped bulkhead. Nara eyed the tape on Jonah's boot. His quick fix from earlier. Keep the circle, for now. Jonah nodded. Saeli's claw brushed his back. Warm. Mess hall beckoned. Shift end. Food. Debrief. But whispers grew in corridors. Xeno saved us. Reyes pet. Oversight pinged Nara's comm. Audit inbound. Jonah gripped toolkit. One glyph wrong. Trust cracks. Small axe held. Hours later, mess hall buzzed. Jonah shoveled protein mash. Saeli poked replicated Voran's slab. Slimy. Nutrient-dense. Doctor. Malk sat between. Datapad linking. Progress. Malk asked. Siley. Clicked. Passed warmth glyph to Jonah. He chewed. Flashed Luna Cruise in mind. Bunks fixed. Air recycled. Pack. Her scales flushed deeper blue. Arms relaxed across table, touching his wrist. Laughter rose from Kragthar's table. Nods rippled. Calm buzzed. Jonah's. Sector 7 spiking again. Hull dropping. Residual? Nara's voice. Reyes. Bridge. Bring your Xeno. Sally's eyes widened. She rose. Jonah stood. Elbow grazed hers. Intentional. Together. Crew watched. Curiosity edged out fear. Corridor swallowed them. Lights flickered harder. Vents groaned. Real crisis brewed. Not drill. Saili's claw gripped his sleeve. Green button ready. Jonah squeezed toolkit. Trust solid now. But audit loomed. Nara's eyes burned suspicious. One wrong pulse, and prejudice cracked the fragile pack. Deck shuddered. Strut warning screamed. Map it, Jonah said. Claws danced. Pulses lanced. Heat built. Scales glowed. They fixed. Together. Whispers chased. Human magic? No. Pack. Nara Kamed. Oversight here. Jonah wrenched the access hatch open. Hiss of equalizing pressure slapped his face. Dim emergency strips flickered to life along the tunnel walls. He dropped inside first, boots thudding on grated decking. This way, Saley. Sector 7's heart. Siley hesitated at the lip, her iridescent scales catching the red glow. Claws flexed on the frame. Then she leaped down, landing silent as mist. Her tail flicked once. Alert. Jonah sealed the hatch behind her, toolkit slung over his shoulder. He led the crouch walk forward, pipes hummed overhead, a constant thrum that crew took for granted. To her, torture. Vents groaned louder up ahead, residual from the strut fix. Oversight inbound. Nara's comm still burned in his ear. Reyes, auditors docking in 10. No anomalies, or it's your hide. He glanced back. Saeli's eyes darted, pupils dilating wide. She pressed a palm flat to a bulkhead. Vibrations traveled up her arm. Scales rippled teal. Station sings. She clicked through the datapad translator. Glyphs bloomed on the shared screen. Heartbeat icon pulsing erratic. Skip coming. Here. Jonah stopped. Her claw tapped a conduit junction ahead. Thick power lines snaked through brackets, quivering at a frequency he hadn't clocked. Not the main surge. Subharmonic. Damn. Scans missed it in the chaos. You hear that? He knelt closer. His gloved hand felt the buzz now. Faint tingle through synth leather. Sally nodded sharp. Crest flared. She traced a claw along the line's flex point. Resonance builds. Fracture soon. He pulled his multi-scanner. Beep confirmed it. Harmonic fault climbing. Power draw spiking uneven. One bad pulse, and the whole sector blacks out. Auditors would love that. Xeno sabotage painted large. Jonah unzipped his toolkit. Clamp rig first. Hold this. He passed her the maglock brace. Her claws gripped it steady, no tremble. Tunnel air thickened, coolant mist beating on his coveralls. Jonah wedged under the conduit. Sparks spat as he jury-rigged the clamp. 3-point hold, auto tension. Line stilled under pressure. Reroute now. He patched a bypass cable into the auxiliary feed. Fingers flew. Splice. Seal. Test pulse. Lights overhead steadied. No skip. Saley watched every twist. Her tail curled near his boot, not touching but close. Claimed territory. Jonah exhaled. Good catch. Saved us a hull breach. He wiped sweat from his brow. Human sweat. Salty. Unfamiliar to her world. She leaned in, nostrils flaring. Sniffed once. Scales softened to deep blue. Datapod pinged. Dr. Malk's voice relayed. Chief Nara reports oversight shuttle clamped. They're scanning logs. Hurry back. Jonah nodded to Siley. Climb out? He boosted up first, offering a hand. She ignored it, vaulted past. Agile. But at the hatch, she paused, claw extended, not grab. Rested light on his sleeve. 4 pads pressed firm. Pack glyph flashed on datapad. Mine, you safe. Warmth spread under fabric. Jonah met her gaze. Vertical slits held steady. Trust. earned in vibrations. Pack, he echoed, voice low. They emerged into corridor glare. Crew scattered, Kragthar grunts hauling crates, humans patching panels. Whispers cut short as Siley walked beside him, claw lingering on sleeve. No flinch from passers-by. One tech nodded. Fixed already, Reyes? Team effort. Jonah kept stride even. Saili's tail swayed matched. Bridge doors hissed open. Nara stood rigid, arms crossed over her armored vest. Oversight trio flanked her. Crisp uniforms, datapads humming. Dr. Malk hovered at edge, translating subtle cues. Reyes, Nara's eyes flicked to Saili's claw. Report. Sector 7 stable. Harmonic fault bypassed. Jonah tapped his scanner log upload. Saili spotted the resonance first. Human ears missed it. Auditor lead, a stern Valari with probe implants. Scanned the data. Brows rose. Efficiency noted, but Xeno involvement. Protocol flags it. Saili's crest drooped. Claw tightened fraction on Jonah's sleeve. Malk interjected soft, cultural note. Voran hear infrasounds as rhythm. Her input prevents cascade failure. Pack protocol. Pack, auditor snorted. This is a station, not a den. Nara cut in. Results matter. Logs clear? Her gaze bored into Jonah. Suspicion lingered, but softer now, clean. Jonah stood easy. No brag. Just fact. Saili clicked low. Data pad glyph. Gratitude pulse. She released his sleeve. Slow. Scales flushed warmer. Auditors huddled. Whispers. Lead nodded. Provisional pass. Monitor continues. Doors parted again. Alarms blared. New ping from auxiliary core. Hull stress. Level 2. Not fixed. Brewing. Nara spun. Raise. Already moving. Jonah grabbed toolkit. Saili matched step. Claw brushed his again. Intentional. Corridor lights stuttered. Crew eyes followed. No fear now. A Kragthar thumped fist to chest. Salute. Pack strong. Deck vibrated deeper. Saili's head tilted. Heartbeat skips again. Deeper. Jonah gripped hatch to core access. Show me. They dropped in tandem. Pipes sang off key. Her claw found his sleeve once more. Pack held. But Oversight watched. Nara's calm crackled behind. Malk, full audit on Rhea's logs. Now, Saili's scales glowed faint warning. Resonance built, not just metal. Trust tested. Jonah braced for the fault line ahead. Scanner screamed harmonic cascade. Bigger than before. Clamp won't hold this. He yanked bypass kit heavier. Saili pointed lower. Fracture web spreading. Her claws danced air patterns, reinforced lattice. He nodded. Your lead. Pulled. Welder. Sparks flew as he followed her gestures. Crossbrace dampened wave. Sweat stung eyes. Her tail steadied his stance. Silent. Sync. Power surged even. Lights held. Silence fell, broken only by her soft click. Relief glyph bloomed. Genius, Jonah muttered. Wiped face. She mimicked. Claw swipe, then touched his cheek smear. Gentle. Scales brushed skin. First, direct. Warmth lingered. Heartbeat synced. Hatch clanged above. Nara dropped in. Auditors cleared sector, but eyes widened at stabilized core.
How?
Team. Saili's claw on his sleeve again. Firm claim. Nara exhaled. Pack, huh? Glanced away. Bridge. Debrief. They climbed out. Crew clustered now. Nods, grunts. Whispers shifted. Xeno hears ghosts. Reyes tames them. Mess hall later. Shift end true this time. Jonah shoveled mash. Saili beside. No buffer. Her slab steamed. Claw nudged his tray. Share glyph. He pushed half over. Pack eats. Scales deepest blue. Tail looped his boot under table. Intimate anchor. Malk slid in opposite. Progress. Nara's thawing. Comm buzzed. Jonah's. Station wide. Anomaly in outer ring. Oversight voice. Reyes. Report with liaison. Saili's eyes lit. Claw gripped. Ready. Deck shuddered faint. Heartbeat skipped. Hers steady with his. But outer ring meant vacuum suits. Exposure. Prejudice peaked there. Hardliners patrolled. One slip. Pack fractures. Jonah stood. Together. Her nod sealed it. They moved. Trust armored better than hull plate. Tunnel narrowed ahead. Service vanes to ring locks. Saeli froze mid-stride. Palm to wall. Skip, big. Jonah scanned, cascade chain. Whole ring destabilizing. Auditors would blame her. Fast. Fix it. He dropped kit. Her patterns guided. Reroute triple. Brace cascade. Claws synced with his hands. Sparks danced. Line held. She placed palm full on his arm. Pack claimed deep. Scales pressed warm. Nara's voice echoed distant. Reyes. Oversight demands isolation protocol. Door sealed behind. Crisis peaked. Trust or shatter. Saeli's crest flared challenge. Jonah welded faster. Human grit. Vor ran ear. Won. But auditors breached outer hatch. Lights failed. Vacuum whine. Brace! Jonah yanked her close. Suits sealed. Together. Heartbeat thundered true. Armored gloves clamped Saeli's scaled wrist. Security Officer Hale yanked her toward the corridor lock. Her crest spiked high, a Voran distress flare. Tail lashed once, then stilled under restraint. Release her. Jonah's voice cut sharp. He blocked the bay hatch, toolkit still slung from the outer ring fix. Chief Nara Kess loomed in the doorway, insignia gleaming under emergency strobes. Reyes. Step aside. Rumors tie her biofield to the cascade. Oversight's calling it sabotage until proven otherwise. Saeli's eyes locked on Jonah. Claws flexed in Hale's grip, not fighting, waiting. Pack signal, trust him, not sabotage. Jonah tapped his wrist calm. Engineering override transmitted 2 minutes ago. My job's on the line. Her data clears this. Kess's mandibles clicked. Your job? Bold for a maintenance lead. Logs show Voran harmonics spiking pre-anomaly. She's a risk. Deck plates hummed steady now thanks to their weld. Jonah felt Saeli's pulse through the air. Rapid, but synced to his calm. Risk, fixed by her patterns. We braced vacuum together. Check the reroutes. Hale tugged harder. Saeli's scales rasped against plasteel cuffs. A soft glyph escaped her. Pain glyph, intimate share. Jonah's hand shot to his panel. Override confirmed. Green. Dan down, officer. Protocol 47B. Engineering stake supersedes security hold on station critical assets. Kess's eyes narrowed.
You staked your clearance on alien logs?
Fine. Get them. 5 minutes, Reyes, or I drag her to isolation myself. Hale released with a grunt. Saeli rubbed her wrist, palm brushing Jonah's arm. Warm scales pressed. Anchor glyph. Steady. Come on. Jonah led her to the auxiliary console. Biofield logs. All of them. Authorized share to security. Saeli nodded, crest easing. Her claws danced over the interface. Voran neural link, faster than human fingers. Data streamed. Harmonic maps. Biofield echoes from arrival. Pre-anomaly spikes. Environmental bleed, not sabotage. Outer ring alloys resonated with her natural field. Fix matched her patterns exactly. Done. Her voice hummed low, accented synth through translator. Share. Trust you. Jonah uploaded. Packet sealed with his override sig. Kess has it now. This proves collaboration, not threat. Her tail looped his boot under the console. Subtle pack bond. Jonah felt the station's heartbeat even out. Power stable, no more whines. Small win. Comm crackled. Kess. Operations bay. Now. Bring the alien. Jonah stood. With me? Affirm. Joint inspection. Don't make me regret this. Saeli gripped his sleeve. Eyes lit. Ready glyph. Jonah squeezed her scaled hand. Human grip. Firm. Pack moves together. They strode the spine corridor. Crew eyes followed. Whispers of Voran witch from hardliners. Nods from engineers. Prejudice thick as deck grime. Saeli's steps matched his, tail brushing his calf. Intimate shield. Operations bay doors hissed open. Kess paced the hollow display. Dr. Erie Malk hovered nearby. Tablet glowing with xenoculture notes. Hollow spun the anomaly. Cascade chain. Voran harmonic overlay, in red. Talk. Kess jabbed the projection. Your logs show spikes. Explain. Jonah patched in. Not spikes. Resonance. Station alloys amplify Voran biofields. Outer rings old plating. Her presence tuned it like a bad antenna. Sayeli stepped forward, crest neutral. Biofield. Sings with metal, not harm. I log all. See? Malk translated nuance. She means passive harmony. Voran physiology attunes environments. Cultural liaison duty. Map compatibilities. Kess crossed arms. Rumors say intentional. Hardliners patrolling Ring claim she triggered it. Lies. Sayeli's claws flexed. Tail coiled Jonah's ankle. Anchor tight. Jonah pulled the reroute schematics. We fixed it mid-cascade. Her patterns guided the braces. Human hands welded together. He overlaid their fix. Green stability lines. Hollow shifted. Resonance dampened. No repeat risk. Kess studied. Mandibles stilled. Joint inspection. Outer ring. Verify. Malk blinked. Chief. Protocols. Now. Kess grabbed a suit harness. Reyes leads. Vaughn observes. I watch. Goal clear. Prove the fix. Jonah nodded. Saley's palm pressed his back. Warm trust. Service tunnel to outer ring narrowed fast. Emergency lights flickered. Vacuum seals groaned from the breach. Kess swept ahead. Scanner humming. Any spike, we lock her down. Saley walked steady beside Jonah. Fear her. Not me. She's rule first. Jonah murmured. Humans, too. But evidence bends rules. Atch to ring locks clanged open. Exposed plating shimmered. Resonant scars faint blue. Jonah knelt, toolkit out. Check braces here. Saley placed palm on hull. Biofield glyph pulsed soft. Stable. Sing quiet. Kess. Scanned. Readings. Matched logs. Harmonic. Damped. Your reroute held. Jonah torqued a loose panel. Triple redundant. Her patterns predicted the weak points. Tail nudged his knee. Pack pride glyph. Malk noted furiously. Voran intuition excels pattern sync. Human execution. Precise. Kess grunted. Rumors debunked. For now. She keyed calm. Oversight. Anomaly cleared. No sabotage. Rhea's override stands. Relief rippled. Sayeli's crest smoothed fully. She leaned into Jonah's side. Scales to uniform. Intimate lean. But Kess turned sharp. One more. Biofield full scan, Vaughn. In medbay. Voluntary? Saley's eyes met Jonah's. He nodded. Safe. Voluntary. Her voice firm. Deck shuddered faint. Residual echo. Jonah braced her. Got you. Kess eyed the contact. Pack bonding. Soft for a hard station. Works. Jonah said. Trust turns crews solid. They filed back. Hardliner patrols parted grudging. Whispers shifted. Rhea's alien fixed it. Medbay doors parted. Dr. Malk prepped the scanner. Sayeli stripped out her robes. Scales iridescent under lights. Jonah stood sentinel. Scan hummed. Clean. No malice harmonics. Kess holstered scanner. Cleared. But I watch. Station first. Sayeli reclothed. Palm full on Jonah's chest. Heartbeats sink deep pack claim. Malk smiled faint. Progress. Nara thaws. Jonah felt it. Small acts. Grip in crisis. Log shared. Inspection braved. Fear cracked. Corridor cleared. Sayeli looped tail full around his waist. Bold anchor. Pack strong. He pressed scales. Stronger. Comm buzzed. Station wide. Secondary anomaly. Core vents. Oversight. Reyes. Vaughn. Report Kess's voice overlaid. Together? Jonah grinned. Pack eats crises. Sayeli's claws gripped. Crest flared ready. Trust sealed. But vents meant heat blooms. Prejudice reignited if they slipped. Core vents hissed steam. Jonah yanked Saley behind a bulkhead as the deck buckled. Red lights strobed. Seal initiating. Evacuate Sector 7. Oversight's voice boomed over comms. Sayeli's tail tightened around his waist. Her crest flared sharp. She pointed. Airlock hatch 20 meters down. Coolant manifold spraying blue fog. Pressure alarms wailed. The bulkhead groaned shut behind them, sealing the corridor. Trapped, Jonas slapped his wrist panel. Reyes to oversight. Vaughn and I are in 7. Manifold rupture. Manual fix needed. Negative, Reyes. Auto seal holds. Vent team inbound. Stand by. Saeli's claws dug into his arm. She shook her head, eyes locked on the fog. Scales rippled distress. The airlock loomed exposed. Decompression risk climbing. Her robes fluttered in the escaping atmo. No time. Jonah unclipped his toolkit. Suit up. I'm going in. Kess's voice cut through. Reyes. Protocol. Wait for... Protocol loses the station.
He sealed his helmet. Magnetic boots clamped.
Basali's gaze widened. Human stubborn. She nodded once, fierce. He sprinted the corridor, fog biting his visor. Manifold gushed. Ice crystals forming in zero-G pockets. Emergency seal locked the hatch solid. Jonah pried the panel, hotwired the release with a jury-rigged bypass. Sparks flew. Hatch hissed open, darkness beyond. Pressure dropping fast, he tethered his line to the frame and dove in alone. Zero-G spun him, coolant slicked bulkheads. Siley, oversight said, the vac, but her signal blinked faint on his HUD, stranded by the inner airlock. Robes snagged on a grate. Isolated, targeted whispers from hardliners echoed in his mind. Alien risk. He pushed off, mag boots failing in the soup. Silas. Status. Silence. Then her form emerged from shadow. Claws extended. No suit. Scales gleamed wet. Stay back, his voice crackled. She ignored, darted close. Her tail whipped out, coiled his tether in a spiral knot. Alien weave, triple secure. Claws gripped his harness. She tugged once. Firm anchor. Pulled him toward the manifold. Jonah blinked. Her species trick held in storms on her world. She'd logged once. No words needed. Trust. They glided tandem. Zaylee led, body twisting fluid through debris. Zero-G her domain. Tail rudder. Claws micro-adjust. Fog parted. She pointed. Manifold crack, fist wide spewing. He unpacked the field gasket. Foam sealant hissed out, expanding fast, but pressure wave bucked them. Decompression sucked. Saeli's anchor slipped. Jonah lunged, grabbed her forearm, scales cool, firm under gloves. Locked mag cuffs to her wrist. Hold, she froze, eyes met through visor. Crest smoothed a fraction. Pulled him steady instead. Gasket swelled, sealed the crack, hiss died. Pressure stabilized. Backup alarms quieted. They drifted, tethered. Jonah released her arm slow. She didn't pull away. Claws traced his cuff. Gratitude etch. Calm crackled. Reyes? Vaughn? Vent team docking. Solid, Jonah said. Manifold patched. Extract us. Siley's tail uncoiled his line. Re-knotted for pull. Efficient. Her gaze lingered on his grip mark. Trust etched deeper. Hatch cycled. Vent team hauled them out. Kess waited in the corridor. Scanner raised. Hardliners flanked her. Murmurs low. Alien in the breach? Doctor, Malk hovered behind. Datapad glowing. Vitals stable. No breach exposure. Siley leaned into Jonah's side.
Scales to suit. Bold now.
Kess eyed the contact. You went in, alone. She followed. Risky, worked. Jonah stripped his helmet. Her tether held me. My gasket sealed it. Saeli's crest bobbed approval. She pressed palm to his chest. Heartbeat sync. Pack claim. Malk nodded. Saeli's zero-G weave. Cultural norm. Saves lives in her hives. Human impulse matches. Care first. Kess holstered scanner. Cleared again, but vents linked to core. Prejudice simmers. One slip. Pack doesn't slip. Jonah gripped Saeli's forearm light. Mirror to the breach. She gripped back. Hardliners shifted. Whispers changed. Rhea's alien patched it. Together. They filed to oversight. Deck plates hummed steady. Saeli's tail looped his leg. Anchor casual. Jonah felt the shift. Small axe stacked. Grip in fog, tether shared, scan braved. Fear thawed, oversight deck buzzed. Chief engineer clapped Jonah's shoulder. Fast work. Vaughn's assist logged. Saeli stood tall, crest high, no isolation now. But Kess pulled Jonah aside. Core anomaly patterns. Not random. Scans show harmonic echoes, pre-sabotage vibes. Jonah frowned. No proof, yet. Kess glanced at Saeli. Softer edge. Watch her close. Station first. Your pack? It holds. Siley approached, claws extended. Peace offer. Kess paused, took it brief. Scales to callous, grudging thaw. Malk smiled. Progress. Trust compounds. Corridor cleared to quarters. Saley halted Jonah at his door. Palm full on chest again. Deeper press. Pack saves. You too. He covered her hand. Heartbeat matched. Her tail circled his waist full. Intimate anchor. Pulled him close. Scales warm against uniform. Crest brushed his jaw. No words. Bond sealed. Door hissed shut behind them. Alone, Jonah traced her crest. She leaned in, claws gentle on his neck. Small axe turned intimate. Come buzzed urgent. Station-wide. Hull breach, auxiliary bay. Decompression imminent. All hands. Saley's eyes snapped wide. Tail tightened. Jonah grinned. Pack eats crises, but Kess overlaid. Reyes Vaughn. Biofield traces match vents. Together. Prejudice flickered. Echoes reignited. Deck shuddered. Alarms rose. Jonah suited partial. We go. Saley's claws gripped, ready. Trust tested. Ox Bay klaxons screamed. They sprinted. Bulkhead sealed halfway. Figures scrambled beyond. Hardliners? Oversight panicked. Seal failed. Pressure dropping. Saley pointed. Manual override jammed. Her tail lashed analysis. Jonah nodded. 0G again. She tethered him first this time. Fluid guide. They dove. Fog thicker. Decomp sucked hard. Figures resolved. 2 hardliners. Scanner in hand. Not a vac, probing. Stand down, Jonah barked. One swung tool. Sayali darted. Tail whip disarmed him. Claws pinned gentle. Other bolted. Jonah tackled. Cuffed. Leak source. Sabotaged valve. Gasket quick seal. Pressure held. Kess burst in with team. Caught red. Hardliners glared. Alien bait. Proof. Jonah held scanner data. Your harmonics. Kess scanned. Guilty spikes. Detain them. Sally released her pin. Crest smooth triumph. Station stabilized. Whispers turned. Reyes pack caught it. Medbay later. Nalk patched minor cuts. Bond accelerates. Human care. Extraordinary anchor. Saeli gripped Jonah's forearm through it all. Steady. Kess lingered door. Cleared full. Station owes you, Jonah said. She nodded. Left. Quarters dimmed. Saeli shed robes. Scales iridescent. Leaned full body to body. Tail full circle. Claws traced scars. Jonah held. Stronger. Heartbeats sink deep. Trust forged. But console pinged private. Oversight to Reyes. Core logs scrubbed. Deeper anomaly. Your pack. Lead. Crisis lingered. Prejudice cracked. Not gone. Saeli's crest flared ready beside him. Pack endured. Word count 1427. Saley shoved open the mess hall doors. Her crest flared high. Claws gripped a slim vial of shimmering fluid. Jonah paused mid-bite. His tray sat at the corner table. Alone. Station crew filled the benches, but eyes locked on her. Whispers hissed. Freaks back. Reyes' pet project. She crossed the deck in 6 strides. Tail rigid. Stopped at his table, set the vial down dead center. Uncorked it with a twist. A sharp citrus tang bloomed, percent marker. It spread in a perfect circle, 2 meters wide, claimed the space, declared him chosen proximity. Her people's vow, public, binding. Crew froze. Forks clattered. One ensign bolted upright. What the void is that? Jonah capped his mug. Calm. He knew this from Malk's briefings. Saley's way to anchor trust. No retreat now. He stood, nodded to her. Circles set. Your rules. Claws flexed. First step taken. Chief Kess strode in then. Uniform crisp. Scanner holstered. Dr. Malk trailed her. Datapad glowing. Kess scanned the marker, frowned. Reyes, explain before I clear the deck. Jonah waved them over. Chief. Doctor, sit inside the circle. Follow Saley's lead. It's protocol for her kind. Builds the bond we need. Kess halted. Eyes narrowed on the scent line. My deck. My rules.
Station's ours.
Jonah said. We fixed the breach, together. Trust her way, or we repeat yesterday. Malk stepped forward. Chief, it's legitimate. They're in proximity right. Non-aggressive. Signals pack inclusion. Kess grunted, holstered her scanner, stepped over the line. Malk followed. Sat. Jonah resumed his seat. Saeli settled beside him. Tail tip brushed his boot. Subtle anchor. Crew watched. Tension coiled. An ensign sneered. Human bait. Next she'll claw us all. Saeli tensed. Crest spiked. Jonah laid his palm flat on the table. Open. Steady. Eyes front, crew. Mess is open. Eat. Malk leaned in. Saeli, guide us. Gesture now. Saeli rose. Claws extended. Grasped Jonah's forearm. Pulled him up. Public. Her scales gleamed under lights. She linked her tail around his wrist. Loose coil. Not trap, pledge. Gasps rippled. Void, she's binding him. Her voice hummed low, accented basic. Shared duty. Maintenance vow. Jonah leads. I follow. Pac-Men's. Jonah met her gaze. Crest steady now. He clasped her forearm. Human grip. We're firm. Equal. Pledge holds. We check vents together. Daily. No solo runs. But she nodded. Tail tightened once. Released. Sat. Crew shifted. Whispers softened. Kess crossed arms. Showy. But effective? Her scanner beeped. Analyzed the marker. Scent stable. No toxins. More than that, Jonah said. He pulled his station pad. Logged in as maintenance lead. We make it official. Standing cross-species protocol. Saeli's rights integrated. Proximity circles honored. Shared duties logged. Builds trust, station-wide. Malk's eyes widened. Bold. Oversight will query. Send it up, Jonah said. We earned it. Yesterday's saboteurs? Scanner proof from her tail whip takedown. Prejudice nearly vented us. Saeli leaned close. Claws tapped his pad. Her signature glyph bloomed. Iridescent seal. Binding. Jonah hit submit. Policy locked. Time stamped. Done. Protocol active. Crew, log your shifts with her if you pair up. Small acts. Big fixes. Kest stood. Nodded sharp. Approved. For now. She eyed Saeli. You point. We cuff. Turned to the hall. Back to trays. Protocol's law. Crew hesitated. Then one tech stood. Stepped over a marker's edge? No. Another vial appeared. Mimic placed at his table. Rhea's way. Who's in? Ripple spread. Tables shifted. Bodies moved closer. Not to Saeli alone. To circles. Shared benches. Ensigns nodded her way. No sneers. Saeli's crest lay flat. Triumph. She gripped Jonah's sleeve under table. Claws gentle. Jonah exhaled. First win public. But his pad pinged. Private channel. Oversight. Protocol noted. Core anomaly deepens. Logs point to auxiliary core. Your pack. Scout it. Hardliners whisper. Alien hack. He glanced at Saeli. Her tail flicked ready. Trust spread, but shadows lingered. Mess hall hummed now. Circles overlapped. Laughter cracked. A tech offered Saeli a ration bar. She took it. Bit. Crest bobbed approval. Jonah stood. Shift starts. Vents first. She rose with him. Tail synced step for step. Kess watched from door. Thumbs up. Rare. They exited. Corridor lights flickered once. Anomaly hummed faint. Deeper crisis called. Saeli tethered her tail to his belt. Subtle. Pack leads. He nodded. Together. Crew trailed at distance. Circles forming behind. Station moved closer, but core ping escalated. Red alert brewed. Auxiliary deck loomed. Dark, silent. They dove in. Fog rolled first. Not decomp. Coolant mist. Saeli pointed. Claw precise. Harmonic spike. There. Jonah unclipped toolkit. 0G tether snapped taut. Her anchor first. Always. Valve cluster. Sabotage pattern. Figures ghosted in mist. Not crew. Masked. Hardliner remnants. Scanner word in gloved hand. Intruders. Saeli hissed. Tail lashed analysis. Claws extended. Jonah barked into calm. Kess. Auxiliary core. Now, one figure lunged. Wrench high. Saeli darted. Tail whip cracked. Disarmed clean. Kind, gentle. Crest flared warning. Second bolted for console. Jonah tackle blow. Cuffed wrists. And scanner clattered. Data streamed. Core scrub code. Alien hack? Forged. Kess burst through hatch. Team fanned. Red-handed. Hardliner spat.
She did it. Varen Witch.
Saeli released pin. Held datapad aloft. Her glyph matched the false code. Mine? Trap yours. Kess scanned. Guilty spikes lit. Detain. All. Pressure stabilized. Mist cleared. Jonah sealed the breach. Quick gasket. Saeli's fluid guide sped it. Nalk arrived late. Padded cuts. Bond unbreakable. Human steady. Varen legend now. Saeli gripped Jonah's arm. Through it all. Steady. Crew gathered at hatch. Circles formed outside. Whispers. Pack. Again. Kess clapped Jonah's shoulder. Protocol saves. Again. Us, he said. Station-wide ping. Oversight. Cleared. But final logs. External signal. Deeper still? Saeli's crest flared beside him. Ready. Mess hall later. Circles merged. Whole deck inside one big marker. Saeli at center. Not alone. Text tethered tails. Nimic right. Laughter boomed. Jonah sat within. Her tail circled full. Claws traced his scars. Light. Crew moved closer. Trust spread, but private console waited. External signal pulsed. New threat inbound. Pack endured. Stronger.